The Sun, a giant ball of burning gas. It is a massive, glowing sphere of hot plasma, primarily composed of hydrogen and helium. It dominates our sky, providing light and warmth. But what would happen if it suddenly died? The consequences would be catastrophic. Our Sun is a star, just like the ones we see at night. However, it is much closer to us, making it appear much larger and brighter. It sits at the center of our solar system. Everything revolves around it, from the smallest asteroid to the largest planet. Planets, moons, asteroids, all held in place by the Sun's gravity. This gravitational force is what keeps our solar system in balance. The Sun's gravity is what keeps Earth in its orbit. Without it, our planet would drift aimlessly through space. This allows for the seasons and the cycle of day and night. The tilt of Earth's axis and its orbit around the Sun create the changing seasons. Without the Sun, our solar system would be a very different place. It would be a cold, dark, and lifeless void, unable to support life as we know it. The Sun is our primary source of energy. It bathes us in light and warmth. This energy is essential for life on Earth. Plants use sunlight to make food through photosynthesis. This process is the foundation of most food chains on Earth. Without sunlight, plants would die and animal life would soon follow. The Sun's energy also drives our weather patterns. It heats the Earth's surface unevenly. This creates winds, ocean currents, and the water cycle. If the Sun were to die tomorrow, we wouldn't notice anything immediately. The Sun's light and warmth are so integral to our daily lives that we often take them for granted. Light from the Sun takes about 8 minutes to reach Earth. This means that for those 8 minutes, life would continue as usual, with the Sun still appearing to shine brightly in the sky. We'd still see the Sun in the sky for those 8 minutes. It would be a brief, deceptive calm before the storm. However, once those 8 minutes passed, Earth would be plunged into darkness. The sudden loss of sunlight would be jarring and immediate. The Sun's light would no longer illuminate our planet. The familiar cycle of day and night would be disrupted, leaving us in perpetual night. The stars would be visible all the time, but they wouldn't provide much light. Their distant glow is no match for the Sun's brilliance. Temperatures would start to drop immediately. The absence of the Sun's warmth would be felt almost instantly. Without the Sun's warmth, Earth would begin to cool down. The planet's surface would start to freeze, and the cold would spread rapidly. Within a week, the average global temperature would drop below freezing. Life as we know it would be drastically altered, and survival would become a challenge. Fading into darkness, long-term consequences. As days turned into weeks, the consequences of a sunless world would become increasingly dire. The lack of sunlight would halt photosynthesis, plants would wither and die, disrupting food chains. With no source of energy to drive the water cycle, precipitation would cease. Rivers and lakes would freeze over. Eventually the oceans would freeze solid. The Earth's atmosphere, which relies on the Sun's energy to maintain its balance, would begin to collapse. The protective layers that shield us from harmful radiation would dissipate. A chilling reality, the end of life as we know it. Imagine a world where the Sun no longer shines, where the warmth and light we take for granted vanish into the cold void of space. Without the Sun's energy, life as we know it would be impossible to sustain. The Sun is the heart of our solar system, providing the essential energy that fuels all living organisms on Earth. The freezing temperatures, lack of food, and collapsing atmosphere would create a hostile environment. Cities would be abandoned, covered in ice and snow as the atmosphere slowly disintegrates. Some forms of life might survive in geothermal vents deep within the Earth's crust. These unique ecosystems, thriving in the absence of sunlight, rely on the heat and minerals from the Earth's interior. These vents release heat from the planet's interior, providing a potential energy source. The heat and chemicals emitted by these vents could sustain some forms of life, even in the absence of the Sun. However, for most life on Earth, the Sun's death would mark the end. As the Sun expands into a red giant, it will scorch the Earth before eventually fading away. Our planet, once teeming with life, would become a barren, frozen wasteland. The vibrant ecosystems that once flourished would be replaced by a desolate, icy landscape devoid of life. Our place in the cosmos. A final reflection. The hypothetical death of the Sun reminds us of our fragility. It underscores our dependence on this celestial object. It compels us to contemplate our place in the vastness of space. While the Sun will eventually die, we don't need to worry about that for billions of years. In the meantime, let us appreciate its life-giving energy. Let us strive to understand its mysteries. Let us continue to explore the cosmos and uncover the secrets it holds.